talking to you, baby. I just get carried away. You blow my mind. I just get carried away. Talking to you, baby. I just get carried away. You blow my mind.
Yo guys, what is good? Welcome back on the Uncle Sharma channel. I'm nervous. I don't know if you can tell. It's the game is stressing me out, man. 24 hours, just under 24 hours now left to the game. This time tomorrow we'll be already 20 minutes into the game. We'll be either happy, probably stressed, might be sad at this point in time. But yeah, it's coming. It's coming. The Champions League semi-final. We are potentially one game away from reaching another Champions League final. And if we do reach it, guys, I'll say it now, I think we'll win it. You know, the Man City one a couple of years back, I remember going through that journey with you guys on here, on this channel, going through that beautiful journey with you guys. We got there, but, you know, I wasn't very confident in that Man City team, of course, treble-winning team. But this time round, we can stop a treble-winning Barca on their way to a treble, or treble obsessed, or treble trying to get their treble type of Barca. We can stop that train, and then we can take anyone. We can take PSG, Arsenal. Yeah, I'm confident if we do it. If we do it tomorrow night, guys, I think we add another star right on top of my head, a fourth UCL, a historic fourth UCL. But of course, let's not get ahead of ourselves. Today's focus is, of course, on tomorrow's game. And of course, I want to know how you guys are doing, how you guys are feeling. So let me see in the comments section how you guys are doing, how you guys are feeling. And of course, leave a thumbs up and subscribe to the channel. We reached 11K subs recently. Thank you very much for the support. But of course, I want to try to keep growing the channel. You know, next goal is 12K, then of course 15, 20, hopefully. That's probably my ceiling in this Inter content creation world, but let's give it a go. Let's try to get there, just like Inter need to try reach their ceiling as a Serie A team. We can't do multiple competitions, as we know, as I've been saying on this channel since the start of the season, but there's one competition that trumps all of them. It is the Champions League. We may have bottled the Scudetto, we may have bottled the Coppa Italia, but if you get the Champions League, we can forget about anything, because the Champions League is the sweetest, most important trophy in the world of football. Let's be real, not just in Europe, in the world of football, the most prestigious club trophy in world football. Yeah, as I said, leave a thumbs up. Let's see who is in the house. Let me give a shout out to the people. Lucas, my brother, give me some confidence, bro. Hey, man, remember last time round, some people were clowning me. Where are they in the chat? They were clowning me in the chat, like, "Oh, Sharma, you've been like, you know, just trying to pump us up, and you know, we're in a bad form." Like, I was actually, you know, like saying, "Nah, shutting those people down." So I want to see some of those people as well. You know, they were saying like, "You're being too confident. We're gonna get smashed. We're gonna lose 3 or 4-0." Yeah, we're those guys, but I'm feeling even more confident since that game, Lucas. Like the way we played against Barca, yes, they had their injury issues, and we'll get into it. They still have injury issues. We've got still one injury issue, and then Lautaro still, you know, probably back, but we'll get into it. But regardless of that, the way we played against those guys, the amount of chances we created and could have created as well, there's that potential that we left there, right? We saw that we scored 3 goals against those guys, but if really we were a little bit more, not even clinical, but more about just the pass before the final pass, or, you know, just opening up the play when the chances were there, that high line, of course, taking more advantage of it, the chances were there. So all of that gives me some confidence. And apparently, is there harsh weather in Milan tomorrow? Let me have a look at the weather forecast for tomorrow. Let's have a look, Lucas, as we're speaking here. Yeah, so it's been raining, so it's been a hot day. It's one of the humid. Look at that, 99% humidity. That's like, Southeast Asia type of weather. You get that type of weather in Bali, Indonesia, Malaysia, India, those types of countries sometimes. High level of humidity, even if the temperature isn't super high. But if it's going to be light rain or thunderstorm, that could definitely change the context of tomorrow's game. Not so much wind by the looks of it tomorrow, but precipitation looks like throughout the day. So it could be a wet San Siro pitch, Meazza pitch, which obviously Barca do like. They like to have a nice pitch that's wet and also, lets the ball skid. But then there's also a balance to that. If it's been raining all day and it becomes a bit heavier, then that could play against them. But Inter as well, it's not like we're like Stoke City FC or something. We like to play the ball on the floor as well. So we probably wouldn't like a pitch to be too heavy, but definitely Barca definitely would play more on that. We don't mind sometimes going a bit long. Stuart, all in. We're winning this. I like it. I like the confidence. Anthony Basic in the house. Greetings. I'm so nervous, bro. Me too. Sun Tzu, I can feel the tension in my chest, mate. Yeah, I can feel it in my chest. Ready, bro. Yeah, I'm gonna lose. I'm gonna start losing my hairline. Definitely, it's gonna start going. It's gonna start looking like this. It's gonna start looking like Di Marco Barella by the end of tomorrow, probably. It's gonna be very stressful evening, Matteo. 100% missed. I hope you're doing well. Zia Talks, what's up, brother? Make sure you check him out. I saw his link up with Anthony, Bayern Munich fan, so check out his content. Bigotelli in the house. What's up, brother? Antonio. Missed again. Zero stress. Easy semi-final game. Hey, I don't know if you're trying to do the reverse jinx or what, but calma. Paris has a good feeling. Nick Knox has a weird sense of dread. Of course, Nick Knox. When are you ever confident, brother? Slap that like button, Rosario, my brother, my G. Hopefully we try to link up if Inter go through, maybe Inter Club London. That link up would have to happen once again, like we did last year for the Milan derby when we won it in front of Milan's face. We slapped it on their face, the 2 stars. Zia Talks backs us against Barcelona as their bozos, and Inter disrespect needs to end. I think we showed the world and Europe like that game was like, even my people that not usually too into football, they've come up to me over the past week and say like, "Oh, you support Inter Milan, right? Oh, like they did really well. Like it's these types of result, make people take notice of Inter, and less disrespect definitely goes around. But of course, a win tomorrow silences any premtars and those types of disrespects. Eduardo, thank you very much as always for the donation and the support of the channel. He says, "We got this, bro." Even the Curva said they'll be chanting from minute 1. It's going to be intense. Yes. So if you don't know, Curva Nord this season has been a little bit of it's been an interesting situation with them. So they've got some sort of ban from being able to actually display the tifo and the the usual designs and things like that. So you probably won't see anything tomorrow, unfortunately, unless you'll probably see something organized from Inter by Inter. Some sort of, I think against Bayern it was the little colors thing to hold up. So there'll be something from Inter, which always is nice, but then there won't be like the tifo from the Curva. But the Curva this season hasn't, in protest towards Inter as well, because of raising ticket prices and all that kind of stuff against the club. They've been not chanting the first 15-20 minutes of the matches, which impacts the game. You hear it, it makes a big difference. We like to make fun of these guys, these Curva Nord. Some of these guys might be criminals and shady type of people, but at the end of the day, they are the ones that bring the noise. They are the ones that bring the fire, sometimes literally the fireworks. And on a night like tomorrow night, we'll need them. So I'm happy that for once we can align with the Curva Nord boys and they're there. They're going to be there like the rest of the stadium, making it heaven for Inter, hopefully, and hell for Barcelona, and supporting the boys from minute one. Yeah, it's one of those. It's one of those. Definitely, if we lose tomorrow, it's, you know, even though we're not favorites for sure, we're the underdogs in this. It's definitely gonna sting. It's gonna sting, especially whereas now in Serie A, it looks like it's out of. I mean, it is out of our hands now. So losing tomorrow will really hurt now because we haven't got anything else to rest our laurels on until the Club World Cup, which then I'm gonna have to start forcing myself to get hyped. To be honest, I wasn't really looking forward to it too much. But at this point, if things don't go well, it might have to be a Club World Cup. I always wanted it. It's best trophy in the world, you know, brings all the best clubs in the world. It's the best trophy in the world, bigger than the Champions League, if that happens anyway. Yeah, I mean, I think we'll have to discuss this soon at the end of the season, whether we're satisfied or not. We can definitely say, I know the fan base is split on this, journalists are split on this, but if you only satisfied with trophies, I understand, but it's not really Inter's history. We're not really a serial winning club. You know, if you're growing up, even when we had stacked teams and sometimes we didn't win under Moratti because of some bad squad building where he would focus on getting us the flashy strikers, which of course we love him for. But we'd end up with like nothing at the end of it. So to say that competing on all fronts and doing what we're doing this season and ending up on no trophies is a bad season. I don't think it's a bad season, but it's definitely disappointing because the context is the competition in Serie A is nowhere near what it used to be, you know, historically. So when we're the best team in Serie A, which we still are, even if Napoli won the Scudetto, I think Napoli fans would say that Inter are the best team in Italy. It's just that we weren't able to cope with the multiple competitions. But ultimately, if you can, it's disappointing when you're the best team in Italy and you're not able to put your foot on the neck of the league, like, you know, Juve used to do, or even Milan used to do at points in their history. It's disappointing. You know, you just want to, once you can start pad some Scudetti, like you just want to do it right. But we'll discuss it at the end of the season how we rate all of this. Next song is there. I'm still here. There's two legs. I don't like that we conceded so much, but you're right about them giving it their all. Yeah, we saw it in Knicks Knocks. Like now, especially now that we know Inzaghi. By the way, sorry that I wasn't around for the post-match reaction for the Hellas Verona game, but it looks like I missed nothing. And again, similar to recent games, I haven't gone back to rewatch the full game. It's just, you know, there's been too many games this season. I'm kind of exhausted by Inter, and from what I read from everyone, you guys, different comments I've seen on Twitter, social media, it's not even worth going back to watch the game. But shout out to Aslani stepping up with a penalty, and we have to think about penalties as well. So, you know, we saw what happened against Atleti last year, so it's good to know that Aslani is also potentially maybe a guy you can bring on for penalties. You know, the fact that he had the confidence and the cojones to step up at San Siro that doesn't necessarily support him fully is very good. And of course, the fact that we were able to rotate full rotation, apart from Bisek, who is probably going to be starting tomorrow, a full 10 out of 11 player rotation is fantastic news for us. And then, yeah, Di Marco, Mkhitaryan, and Acerbi had some minutes to play. But the fact that Thuram was be able to be fully rested, obviously Lautaro was injured, Bastoni fully rested, Denzel fully rested, Barella fully rested, Zoma fully rested. That is great news ahead of the Barca game. On the other hand, Barcelona, if I just show you quickly, they did rotate just as heavily, but they had to bring on the big guns a little bit earlier to secure their result against Real Valladolid the other day. Let me just show you quickly. They went 1-0 down. And yeah, so their only real starter, you could say, from the game they played against us was Pedri. Because, yeah, Araujo, even though he's technically, you could say he's a starter, but he didn't start against us. And it looks like he's not going to start against us tomorrow either. So they rotated fully as well. But then they had to bring on Yamal at the 38th minute Frankie De Jong, Rafinha, both of them at halftime, Dani Olmo and Eric Garcia. So not as much rest for them. Then they had to fight a little bit more than our game, which seemed to be a bit more of a, boring 1-0 where Hellas Verona didn't really try too much to do much either. So not really, too much difference, but just, little details at the end might make a difference of just, tiredness for Barca. So that's the situation going into tomorrow's game. Of course, I'll go into the predicted lineups in a moment. The Colombian Barca fans were really worried during the first leg. They were not expecting to suffer as much as they did. Yeah, 100%. They're, as I said, we were surprised a lot of people, I think. I mean, not us. Well, actually, I think we were surprised even Inter fans, because I know a lot of the fan base, quite rightly, we were kind of like, these guys look finished physically. They look cooked. They haven't even anything left in their legs. And they had. And that shows you how much is up here, not just how much tiredness and how much they got in their bodies. It shows the difference. You watch the Roma game and you watch how we were second to every challenge, every 50-50, and you watch the way we started the game against Barcelona, and you think, wow, that's the same team, that's the same players. 3 days later, that's the same players away, traveling to Barcelona, that's the same players. The mind is a very powerful thing, man. It's a very, very powerful thing. Yeah, if you haven't been, I know some of you guys are not as active on social media, maybe you'll avoid it, which I don't blame you guys. I'll be real. Sometimes it is a cesspool, and especially fan bases really start showing the worst of themselves at these moments. And this meme here, shouts out to Brosholic on Instagram and Twitter. Make sure you follow him for memes. If you haven't been following, essentially, somehow Barcelona fans have picked up the fact that Lautaro is coming back quickly from injury, that he must be, Inter must be injecting something. They thought Pavard was coming back, so they thought that was also shady. The fact that Thuram came back, that's shady. And then they started looking at Barella's hairline and Mkhitaryan's hairline and Di Marco's hairline, saying that, steroid usage usually equals loss of hair and all those types of things. It's been funny, but also like it's quite sad to see how fan bases and a lot of them probably believe all this. And then, of course, if you don't know, the UEFA president Gianni Infantino is an outright Interista. He doesn't even hide it. He's an Interista. So they're crying about that. The fact that the UEFA president is Interista. So UEFA are going to be against them, even though we all know we call them UEFA Lona for a reason. And then the other thing now they're crying about is that Marciniak, the Polish referee, is the referee for tomorrow's game. And they're accusing him of being a Madrid fan. It's going to be a long ass game, and even if we win tomorrow, it's going to be a long ass back and forth with those guys, because even if we win, there's going to be something to cry about for sure. And they have such a big fan base, such a worldwide fan base, and you can't escape them wherever you go. So it's going to be a pain in the culo regardless of the results tomorrow. Yeah, we are going to go bold on it tomorrow for sure. Who cares about respect? I just want results on the pitch, definitely. Yeah, bold equal doping or logic. When was the last time the Curva did a Tifo? I don't remember. Yeah, I think none this season, to be honest. None this season. I mean, that's still better than Arsenal's bad cover Tifo for sure, Indro. No Tifo is better than whatever Arsenal fans are cooked up that time. So, yeah, we've missed it for sure. But as long as they're singing and supporting, especially the Curva Nord guys have the megaphones as well, so they're able to kind of get the whole crowd going, not just the Curva. They can get the whole crowd going, because the crowd, even when I go to San Siro, I see it, like the general crowd follows the lead of the Curva as well, because they're the ones starting the chants. So especially if the whole crowd knows the chants and they're not some little niche Curva chants, everyone starts singing and everyone gets going much more regularly than like just the general fan base would do. They're definitely they're the ones they're the fire starters. If we lose, we lose. I salute the squad for getting this far, and you see how something is almost impossible with this squad. Well, Indra, I think at least one competition it had to be. I think it had to be. You had to at least excel in one competition, Indra. So yeah, definitely salute the squad. But again, I think I'll need to take some of my time, and we'll take our time to kind of really sit down and evaluate the season as we go on. But for the Champions League, definitely salute. Going into this game, guys, before tomorrow, the stat is that Inter have only been behind in Champions League for 11 minutes in total. That's ridiculous. Absolutely ridiculous. So we've had a very good Champions League campaign. Maybe our performances on the eye, if you've watched Inter every game, will not been great every game. Let's be real. But we've been solid all Champions League campaign. In case Olauti is not starting, I'll pass out before the game even starts. Yeah, I don't know, Lucas, man. I'm gonna get into it, but I don't think you should really force players to play if they're not fully fit. I'll get into my reasoning for that because I've seen examples of it where it doesn't pay off. Show me our transfer budget and I forget everything we lose. Yeah, we're gonna hold. We're gonna hold them to that. It's gonna be Szczesny starting. It's not gonna be Ter Stegen. Flick has confirmed it will be Wojciech Szczesny starting instead of not Ter Stegen, who's only just come back from injury. So yeah, I don't think either way was a big impact, but maybe that could have been positive because Ter Stegen would have been a bit rusty coming back into the game. So yeah, I mean, if you're gonna if you watch Inter and you accuse us of doping, you really don't have brain cells because literally, if DiMarco's doping, he's either injecting himself with like pig's blood or something, or just taking the wrong pills, like as Mr. said. Like the guy literally, did you see him against Barcelona? The 20th minute, he made like a sprint, or even like the first few minutes. Remember we scored from Thuram? It was a sprint. The first like 20 seconds, and he sprint down, and you already looked like he was like finished. So if he's doping, then we're after wherever we're injecting them with is definitely not right. Mkhitaryan he's just a model professional. If you heard what his agent says, he just eats mozzarella. He's like no bread, no carbs. This guy's a full what do they call it, keto diet or whatever it is. Model professional. And his hairline's been like that for like what, 10 years since he was at Arsenal or Dortmund, wasn't it? Mkhitaryan's hairline was like that. Unfortunately, some guys not blessed with hairlines. And Pavard isn't even coming back. So he's not making it for tomorrow's game. So that's another one gone down the drain. Barella as well. If you've watched Barella over the last few years, you know this guy's holding on. If he shaved his hair, it probably would be like DiMarco, probably worse than DiMarco. But because he's grown it, he's able to kind of cover it by combing it a certain way. If Barella like shaved it, you could see it was like you would have like you would have a circle here and a circle there, and you would just have he probably looks like Cambiasso if he shaved it off. And that's been going on for years. Some guys are just not blessed with hairlines. And who else? Lautaro. I mean, I think we're going to force him to play through, really. We're probably going to give him some pain-killing injections, which is very normal. That's not anything wrong with that. Everyone is able to do that. But he's probably going to play through pain and play through injury. So he's definitely not recovering from any injury in time. We're definitely going to force Lautaro to play. So stupidity, absolute stupidity. If they're trolling, a fair play. If they want to troll, like we troll Juve fans because Juve's history with doping and everything. There's history of that. If they're trolling, then fair enough. But I've seen that they're actually serious about it. I've seen it in YouTube comments. I've gone and watched some Inter Barcelona previews from neutrals and some Barcelona fans, and in the comments I've seen someone needs to report to UEFA about Inter's doping. So why is no one following up on this? Shut the hell up, man. What is this rank they're referring to in UEFA? I saw a tweet saying Inter first in rank in UEFA. Oh, yeah, that's there must be the coefficient, right, Lucas? Probably. I haven't seen that because I saw Inzaghi mentioned it, I'm guessing he means by coefficient, because when you add up all the points, coefficient points Inter have added over the last few years under Inzaghi, qualifying from the group stages every year, and then obviously the final in 2 years ago, past the group stage again last year, Atleti quarterfinal, was it, or round of 16? And then this year, obviously, another semi-final. So it's probably just the addition of those coefficient rankings where, teams like Barca, Real Madrid have been maybe more up and down in their performance. Maybe they're referring to that. I'm not sure. It would be great to have no controversy, Varmo, but yeah, it's very, very, very much 1% chance of there being no controversy from Steroid FC to Airline FC. But yeah, let me start getting into some injury news, as Shantia has asked a very important burning question for tomorrow's game, and it is Robert Lewandowski. Is he ready? And he is ready for tomorrow's game. Hansi Flick, Barcelona manager, confirmed that. Whether he's going to start, we don't know. I think what Hansi Flick has hinted at is that he will be starting him from the bench. So the quote is here: Lewandowski, we already talked about it yesterday. Everything is going well. He feels much better. He's ready to start from the bench. Maybe we'll need him and he will come on the pitch. Maybe this could be, pre-tattica, as they call it, mind games before the game to show that he's not ready to start. And then you start him by surprise. But it would be, again, they would be kind of forcing it a little bit. He's just coming back from injury now, from a few weeks out. So he probably, my prediction is that he will start coming off the bench, because they've been doing well without him as well. Ferran Torres has been doing well. Of course, he scored against us as well last week, Ferran Torres. And, it's good. It's good player to bring off the bench, isn't he, Lewandowski? So that's the news in terms of Robert Lewandowski. And as we said, in terms of player profile, Acerbi probably prefers to play against a guy like Lewandowski rather than a Ferran Torres who's moving about all over the place, no point of reference, not really playing back to goal. Acerbi likes to play against more traditional strikers like Lewandowski, where he can man mark him and try to, pressure him from behind, not try to get in the ball too much. Lewandowski not going to run behind Acerbi too much. But of course, the pedigree and the experience and the quality of Lewandowski, top scorer in La Liga, one of the all-time great strikers of our generation. If he plays, of course, it's a big factor. The big news is, though, the one that they were saying that was going to be ready for the game against Inter, was going to even start against Inter, is Alejandro Balde on the left, their left back. He is a big miss once again. As I said, in the first game, he probably was a big miss because everything was going around down the right side because of Yamal, but they also have a big threat on the left-hand side because Rafinha probably missed the fact that Balde wasn't there to help him with the overlaps and his ball carrying. He is one of the quickest players in world football, one of the quickest fullbacks alongside Alphonso Davies. So massive miss. And the replacement for Balde, even though I think Gerard Martin actually got man of the match against Valladolid in the last game, we saw him. He's nowhere near as good as Balde. So he's definitely a potential weak point. So yeah, he's been really good. He's been really good this season. The few times I've watched Barcelona in the big games, he's always stood out. And some of his ball carrying is unreal. Like, he can just carry the ball 50-60 yards, just one burst of speed, and we know we struggle against players like that. So he is massive miss for them. Yeah, there is Anthony confirming it's the UEFA coefficient points for this season. Very, very nice. That is, again, the testament to Inzaghi's work over the last few years. I've just seen some crazy allegations. Yeah, I saw something, guys. I don't know. I have not seen the video because it's like some 9-minute video of some girl accusing Marcus Thuram on social media. Yeah, Sifas Fazbaz here talking about it as well. I have not seen the video. Again, I need to see what people are talking about. The fact that it's coming out before tomorrow's game is a bit, bit shady coming out before tomorrow's game. But obviously, I hope that it's not real in terms of Thuram. But then if it's real, then of course he will have to face his consequences, go to the courts and face the ramifications of his actions, whatever it is the girl is accusing him of. I can imagine, again, I've watched the video, but I can imagine what we've seen these days, the whole Thomas Partey situation at Arsenal and other cases like that these days. What I can imagine what the whole situation is probably about, the allegations. But I haven't seen the video, so I can't comment on it. But again, hopefully Marcus hasn't done anything stupid like that and jeopardized his career and life, hopefully. But yeah, in terms of just Thuram playing and starting, he will be back tomorrow because he fully rested against Verona quite well. Now let's move on to Inter's injury issues. So yeah, Benji Pavard is out. No, Stuart. I know that there was news yesterday about it, that Pavard is he's going to train with the team and he's going to potentially start. But as of today, when he took part in training, Benji Pavard, he tried, and yeah, he still has pain in his ankle. And you can kind of see, someone zoomed in on the picture. I mean, it's probably the angle as well, but you can see his left ankle is still swollen compared to his right ankle. So ankle injury, it's at least a couple of weeks. And those can be quite niggling injuries, the ankle ones. I suffer from those all the time playing football because I have quite weak ankles. Once your ankle goes, you have to really rest it for like 2 or 3 weeks until the pain goes away fully. And it's the right thing. I know we would have probably liked Pavard to play instead of Bisek because he has definitely, more concentration level, better football IQ in terms of defending and positioning and all those types of things. But in open space, having a dodgy ankle, having some pain in your ankle against Rafinha, against some of these guys, yeah, it's definitely not ideal. And Bisek played very well. Let's be real. I know he had a bit of a mistake maybe on the Ferran Torres goal, but Bisek played very well against Barcelona last time round. So, yeah, not great, not good news for us. But, yeah, that's the one injury. And then Lautaro is recovered, but there's another confirmation here. Let me just show you here. Breaking Benjamin Pavard. He's not even going to be called up. So yeah, he's not even just on the bench. He's not even called up for tomorrow's game. So that's a shame. Missing Pavard's experience. Would have been nice to also bring him off the bench, right? If you want to hold on to the lead, potentially in the second half. Let me see if we go down to anything about Lautaro. Yeah, so Lautaro took part in training. You can see him here. He took part in training with the team. He's ready. It says here they did personalized warm-up, then they joined the team and the group. Frattesi had a little issue as well. But yeah, I think they're just going to force him, basically, Lautaro. It's been all week they've been saying, Lautaro's going to try his best to force himself to come back in time for the game. What a guy. He's the Capitano. He's kind of a bit of a throwback, isn't he, guys? Guys from yesteryear, from the 50s, 60s, and 70s, 80s, no-nonsense footballers that will play through, bandaged up, broken bones and injuries. Lautaro's one of those types of guys. He'll play through injuries, and he's done that for Inter in the past before the World Cup. If you guys remember, of course, famously he played through his ankle issues, then went to the World Cup with a messed up ankle, farted, messed up, flopped to the World Cup massively, and the whole world said Lautaro sucks. But the reality was he played through a messed up ankle that he got operated after the World Cup. So after the whole season, after the World Cup, then he managed to finally get it operated on. But people didn't know that. So that's the type of player Lautaro is. He'll play through the pain barrier. And I do respect that. But this is where my I think that, again, like with a swollen ankle, he could probably play. Yeah, that's not the thing. You know, I've played, as I said, even I play sometimes when you just want to play football. You just play even with a slight ankle sprain. It's like it hurts, but you can sometimes play. You know, if you just wait a week recovery, 1 week recovery, you're kind of feeling a little bit better. But all these changes of direction from the likes of Rafinha, Dani Olmo, Yamal, you know, like all these little sprints and changes of direction, like you're just asking for trouble, man. You're asking for trouble for Benji. I mean, the fact that he's not even in the bench injury, that shows you if he was even able to play with a painkiller, they would have at least put him on the bench. But he gave it a go today, and it just didn't work. But yeah, in terms of Lautaro, I'm not sure whether he should start, to be honest. He's even without this injury, he's been looking, if you last few weeks, Bologna, Roma, Milan, he's been looking tired. Physically, he's been looking a little bit leggy, a little bit heavy, not as reactive, definitely not on form as he was at the early on start of this year. And, you know, tomorrow we need 11 lions on the pitch. And of course, Lautaro is a lion. But is he going to be able to press the way that we need him to press? Is he going to be able to hold the ball like we need him to hold the ball and win those fouls like we need him, like he was against Bayern? Is he going to be able to go past anyone? Probably not. Is he going to be able to have that burst of speed? Probably not. Is he going to be able to have that, you know, powerful shot as well, like, you know, that juice in his leg to like shoot like he does with his volleys and first time shots? But the issue is, and the reason why we are probably going to, you know, force it is the alternative, right? Do you trust Mehdi Taremi to have all of that? I mean, you probably trust him to run around and press, but apart from that, anything else? Maybe not. Arnautovic, yes, he's picked up form, but you can't even trust Arnautovic for pressing and running, really. Correa, he's not even in the squad, so because of that, it looks like we'll force him. But the example that comes to mind why I wouldn't do this, because I remember Harry Kane played in the Champions League final against Liverpool, if you guys remember, the worst Champions League final ever, Liverpool-Tottenham, a few years back. And Harry Kane, everyone knew that he had some ankle issues, but Pochettino still started him, and you could see he was absolutely finished. He offered nothing in that game, completely finished. And I feel like, you know, okay, it's Harry Kane, maybe one of the best at that time as well, a younger Harry Kane coming through. You can't do without him. But surely, even when someone's not fit, when he's not able to run properly and not able to shoot properly, even if he's your best player, is that conducive to, you know, to the team? Is that positive for the team? Is that going to help your team? I don't know. But yeah, as we said, the alternatives are so bad that we probably don't have an option. And the thing is, like, what if Lautaro gets injured and then, you know, we God willing, we go through to the final, and, you know, this injury gets worse and we can't make it to the final. That's my fear as well, that, you know, we get this injury and make it worse. The media talking most about Lamine Yamal's normal. The guy is 17 years old, but already top of the world. Yeah, crazy. Please watch the video. Intermedia House did almost brought a tear. Ooh, maybe we can watch it live together. Let's have a look on the Inter official YouTube if they've posted it. We can watch it together. If not, yes, 1 hour ago. Oh, it's 4 minutes. Okay, that's too long. But actually, let me show you one video that's been getting me hyped as hell. Is this edit that I found on TikTok a while back, and I go back to it. There's a guy called Margot_edits on TikTok. My goodness, it's amazing. Actually, I need to share it. I need to make sure I share it with the audio, because the audio is what makes it. It's just like masterpiece. Also share tab audio. Yeah, there we go. So that should show it now. So let's The boy.
For Barcelona, is not a dream. It's an obsession.
God, how can a video make me want to throw my head through a wall? I like literally want to just punch my head through a wall. How can a compilation of a manager make me that hyped for a game? That is a masterpiece of an edit, guys. That is a masterpiece. And Mourinho, whoa, that guy, he's different, man. He's different gravy, different sauce. Oh, that video is getting me so hyped for tomorrow. That is the job that we need to do tomorrow. I want to see Simone and Inzaghi celebrating like this. Not with Suleiman. Who's our equivalent of Suleiman in our team? Like Aslani, with Aslani next to him, or yeah, Di Gennaro, some random player like that. Oh my god, epic scenes. Of course, that was away to Barcelona. It was the other way around. We played at home, beat them at home, and then lost away to them. But yeah, that video has got me hyped and ready for tomorrow. Yeah. Lautaro's injury, elongated hamstring. Yeah, I know, Eduardo, but you can't tell me, Eduardo, that he's fully fit to play. No, I'm telling you, he's not fully fit to play at all. And a hamstring's usually more than 10 days. The fact that they said that straight, and Inter never release, Eduardo, also with how many years have we been following Inter, especially recently? Do they ever release how long the player is actually going to be out for? It's always, and it's always been underestimated recently, hasn't it? Thuram's injury, Pavard's injury, Zielinski's injury, all the injuries every time has been underestimated. Whatever's been leaked to the media. The fact that this one somehow has been hamstrings usually 2 weeks, but this one was said straight away it was 7 to 10 days, and he's back. It's not even been 7 days, Eduardo. Tomorrow is the Tuesday. The injury happened on Wednesday, so it's going to be 6 days. He comes back in. So they're definitely forcing the boy to play through injury. Yeah, that was my thought, Nick Knox. But again, Nick Knox, are you confident in putting out Taremi or Arnautovic as a starter against the Barca? That's the thing. That's the thing. I think in general, like, and the way Taremi played against Barca when he came on, he was better than Lautaro. Let's be real. Let's be 100% real. He was better than Lautaro when Taremi came on. And he could do a job for 45 minutes or 50, 60 minutes with his pressing and running around. But we also do need quality, and we do need our captain out there. So I understand. And yeah, then you can bring him on in the second half. But that's the thing. You don't want to bring on Taremi and Arnautovic if you need a goal. Then that's really asking for trouble. If you can bring on Lautaro and you need a goal, that's different, right? Now that point, thinking about it, has kind of swayed me now. You want to bring on Lautaro if you need a goal for sure. But if you need a goal, you don't really want to bring on Taremi and Arnautovic. You've seen them; they don't really bring on that impact off the bench. Yeah, lucky for them. Ice cold. Tuchel can't play. Hey, Otlo in the house. Forza Inter per sempre. Let's keep living the dream. Funny thing is, now you can argue it's more of an obsession for us than Barcelona, given what happened in Istanbul 2 years ago. Shush, Ahmed. Why are you spitting? Shush. It's true. Once you lose the Champions League final, and the players have been talking about it since the start of the season, the fact that they feel like they can win this competition after losing it the year before, winning it last year, winning the Serie A last year, they feel like they've got business to finish. They got unfinished business in Champions League. So it's true. We might actually be more. But the fact that Barcelona already have the 2 trophies, Ahmad, that treble thing is real. If they want to be history makers of Barcelona, and it is there, history is right there for them right now. So there is definitely not, I don't want to say it's much more of an obsession for us, but because of that Istanbul loss, yeah, we have definitely something. We want some revenge. But that's, I think that's when we get to the final. For tomorrow, it's just we got to put it all out. We have the eggs all in this basket. Barcelona, if the season ends tomorrow and they lose, that's still a fantastic season for them. You ask Barcelona fans at the beginning of the season if they would have taken this with a new coach, young team, they would have said yes. So, yeah, let's see. Frattesi is Montari. Yeah, that's a good one, actually. Yeah, Frattesi is probably the Montari of this team. Limone Campola for Mourinho parked the bus. Never like our defense when defending deep. Never look secure, especially this season, not like in Mourinho times. I mean, yeah, it's different football now. Indro is, Inzaghi is definitely not the Mourinho type of character. There's not the Malta Samuels and the Lucios and the Cordobas and the Maicons and the Materazzis and the Kivus. That's a different type of defender that you don't really get these days. Acerbi is probably the only that type of defender. Acerbi and De Vrij. Yeah, even De Vrij. De Vrij is kind of modern. Acerbi is kind of very old school. Apart from that, everyone is very different in terms of if you want to hunker back and sit back. But there was also some moments of luck as well. Let's in Barcelona, there was that Julio Cesar performing out of his mind in the second one. There was some goals. They were saying, that Bojan Kirkic goal should have counted. It wasn't offside or something like that. I remember Barcelona fans saying that. Little things play a part. So hopefully Zoma can come through as well. If the defense falters, hopefully Zoma can come through. And he did try his best, even though he conceded 3 goals. It wasn't really his fault in the first leg. Just look at Dumfries' injury. Remember the one from Lukaku as well. Oh, yeah, the Lukaku one. Remember, that guy was out for time. And that one ended up being a really, really serious injury. Yeah. Oh, yeah, the one I forgot. Yeah, Power is 100% out. One thing I forgot to mention outside of these two is, of course, Kunde. Kunde is definitely out. So let's get into the predicted lineups, actually. Now that we've been here for 47 minutes, I managed to not talk about the predicted lineups somehow. This is Inter's predicted lineup for tomorrow. I'll show Barcelona's in a momento. Basically, exact same lineup as last time round. Sommer, Bisek, Acerbi, Bastoni, Dumfries, Barella, Hakan, Mkhitaryan, Di Marco, Lautaro, Thuram. Now, yes, same exact conversation to be had. Should Carlos Augusto start instead of Di Marco? And again, my preference probably is towards Carlos Augusto because of what we saw last time round. Di Marco getting embarrassed worldwide in front of everyone's eyes against Yamal. But the one corner that Di Marco took ended up turning into a goal. So that's probably Inzaghi's thinking, to try and attack when we have the energy in the first half, having Di Marco on for the corners, for his left foot. Try to also play from the back, try to be on the front foot. And then Augusto is much better. You don't want to bring on Di Marco to close the game out. You want to bring on Augusto to close the game out because he's better defensively, more solid. And he's got that ability to run in behind if you want to counterattack. Even if we're losing, Augusto's able to come in and being attacking in a different way to Di Marco, being a more direct and more running power. So I do understand it. And the fact is, normally, I know Di Marco's not great defensively even normally, but the fact that he's so worrying is because he's so out of form recently. He's looking physically so unfit. But surely at some point, we've seen it with some of these guys all season, right, guys? There was moments of the season, I mean, probably like 3-4 months of the season where Lautaro looked completely unfit. Then, just playing him. Eventually, he turned it around physically, became sharper again. Hakan himself, at times this season, hasn't looked fully sharp. Mkhitaryan at the beginning of the season looked very, very unfit, or by his standards, just didn't look on form. Thuram at the beginning of this year in 2025 has looked unfit. But we just keep playing these guys, and so it's in most of these circumstances, they kept playing, they kept starting, and they managed to turn around their form. With DiMarco, it definitely looks physical to me at the moment. It just looks like he doesn't look. We know he's not blessed athletically on his best day, but if he can return to somewhat decent physical form, he can also, we saw him, in the past, he can cope with defenders as well. He's not he's not convincing, and he always is going to back off, but he's not the worst guy defensively. He's just looking really, really bad at the moment, like embarrassingly bad. But Inzaghi wants to have that strong left-hand side, technical left-hand side with Bastoni, Mkhitaryan, and DiMarco. And you can't blame him too much, because when you think about it, it did work in the first leg. It's just that Yamal on that night, you got to give it to Yamal as well. That night, he was like, as I said, I've watched a few games of Barcelona, and Yamal is good for Spain and Barcelona. But that night, he took it to a next level. Like, he was just unreal. So hopefully, he's not going to be like that every game, right? Like, even Messi wasn't like that every single game. Even Messi against Inter, actually, he was pretty bad. Yamal's already got more goals against Inter than Messi ever did. So hopefully, Inzaghi talks about it in the pre-game. Hopefully this time around, they can try to manage him a little bit better. Mkhitaryan can try to help DiMarco better. Bastoni try to help DiMarco on that side a little bit more this time around. But yeah, it is worrying. But as in terms of logic, it doesn't make sense to not. You don't want to bring on DiMarco in the second half, really, to hold if you're losing, or even if you're like trying to come back, because DiMarco isn't really a guy to go at defense. He's more of a guy, you're just going to kind of cross it in, whereas Augusto is going to bring energy into a game, regardless if it's defending or attacking. And yeah, the fact there's no Koundé as well is big in terms of Barcelona. So let's have a look at Barcelona's predicted lineup. With no Koundé, no Balde. Oh, by the way, Genoa beating Milan 1-0, in case you were interested in that, which I wasn't. Let's bring up FotMob. Let me share my screen with you guys. Of course, 8 p.m. kickoff time tomorrow. They have Taremi starting. Probably not. So yeah, this is the predicted lineup for. Oh, sorry, I'm not sharing the screen. This is the predicted lineup for Barcelona. Ignore Taremi for us. So Szczesny, Eric Garcia at right back instead of Koundé, Araujo, Cubarsí, Martinez. So I think this could change. I reckon this is going to be probably. Might be Eric Garcia there, or maybe even Araujo as the right back. And then Christensen. If I was Hansi Flick, Christensen is back from injury, I probably would start Christensen, because he's got height as well. He's good in the air. And that would add basically 4 centre-backs for Barcelona. They would add Eric Garcia, who was centre-back by trade. Not a very good one, but centre-back by trade. Christensen, who's tall. Cubarsí, who's tall. Martinez, who's tall. That would help them defensively, set pieces a lot more. I could see that happening. So that will be interesting to see whether they start Araujo or put Araujo right back and put in Christensen. If Eric Garcia plays centre-back, we're feasting. We need to be feasting for sure. Pedri, De Jong, midfield, of course. Rafinha, Olmo, Yamal, and Ferran look like is the one starting. As I said, I think Lewandowski will come on probably as a substitute. And for us, Pavard's out, but Lautaro will probably be starting. In terms of prediction of Opta, they have a 33% for Inter and 42%, or let's say 43% to Barcelona. So they have Barcelona as favourites. And I'm guessing the bookmakers also have, let's see, Inter Barcelona odds. Let's have a look what this website says. Sportgambler.com. I don't know if it's a good website or not. Yeah, so they looks like they have Barcelona as the favorites, full-time result, half-time result. Yeah, they have Barcelona the favorites for the bookmakers as well. So, yeah, what do you guys think about the potential lineups? Yeah, 100% Joseph. Job is not done. Hope we can bury our chances, stay disciplined. Yeah, that's the key. We need to definitely, last time round, we saw Barca pinned us back. We struggled. They dominated possession. They created a lot. They shot a lot at us. But there were opportunities on the counter. Some of the passing, I was disappointed with some of the passing, especially Hakan. Hakan's probably was the most disappointing player last time round. He wasn't able to ping any nice balls through in the space. Mkhitaryan wasn't good as well. Barella was a bit better than the other two, I think, in terms of moving the ball forward. But still, with the quality of those guys, I expected better from us. So hopefully tomorrow they need to, when they see that space in behind, hit those balls. And of course, once again, Denzel, mother effing Dumfries, the train track will be laid out again on that right hand side for him. Whether it's whoever's going to play on that side, he needs to go every time there's opportunity, brother. You go. Thuram, hopefully without a little bit of rest, hopefully this other off the field stuff that's what we've seen today isn't affecting him. Go. Lautaro hopefully plays better, holds the ball better, brings others into play for that switch of play. You know, Lautaro comes in, chests it to Dimarco. Dimarco hits it straight first time onto Dumfries on the other side. You know, Lautaro's hold up play, winning the fouls. Those fat legs of his, those hunky, chunky legs of his need to be plunkered down into the ground. Whichever centre back is tackling him from behind, and need him to be strong tomorrow. Dimarco, yeah, especially defensively, but yeah, that left foot needs to be on point tomorrow. And Bastoni as well. We didn't really get to see Bastoni spray his usual passing and show his ability really in the first leg. So tomorrow, I'm expecting more from Bastoni. Bisek hopefully stays concentrated. We need Jan Bisek to stay 100% concentrated. We know sometimes he has these drops in concentration and forgets his man or forgets his positioning. He needs to be switched on every single second. I know it's easy to say, but these are the nights that make you a legend, Jan Bisek. Acerbi, he was, in my opinion, most at fault for that Ferran Torres goal. He, again, can't switch off like that. And then, yeah, the substitutes, obviously, if Taremi comes on, the job he did last time, to me, that was great. But hopefully he can add a bit more in terms of actual attacking as well. Arnautovic, if he comes on, brother, just give us your best. Frattesi, if he comes on, bro, just run in behind. Frattesi, actually, when he came on, I was so disappointed. I was watching Frattesi, and a few times he sprinted behind their defense, and no one made that pass to him. Like, when Frattesi comes on, just get him in. 100%, Gabri. Just gamble. We put all our energies into this. We're fully rotated. We'll rotate in the next game as well. It doesn't matter. Just go about it. Yeah. Oof. All right. Yeah, Gron, I spoke about it briefly. We need to see what this thing's all about. It's concerning, but we need to see what it's all about, whether it's real, whether it's not. Yeah, hopefully I hope it's not real, but if it is, that's looking very, very concerning. Scared that Taremi is an all-time stick. Hey man, come on, no. Come on, guys. I want to see faith and positivity with all our players, because Taremi, that performance that he gave us at the away to Barcelona, deserves praise and deserves some positivity. You know, if he can do that again, I'm fine with it. I am fine with it. So let's end it with our prediction, guys. Do you believe in the Opta prediction, the Opta supercomputer that gives it 43% to Barcelona? Or do you have faith in our boys to take us to another Champions League final. It's 2 years after the Istanbul heartbreak. Yeah, 100%. Tune into Judge Mo tomorrow for the watch along if he's doing it. Always a lot of entertainment, always good fun with Judge Mo. And yeah, we need football gods with us tomorrow. Please, the world of football needs to be with us against Barca tomorrow. Let's see what you guys got. Let's see what you guys are cooking in this chat. Ooh, 3-1 Inter. Mister says 3-1. Alex says 2-1. Wow. There's confidence in this chat. There's confidence in this chat. There's chest. People are coming out with their chest in this chat. 3-2. Cheng Ching says 2-1. Eduardo says. Yeah, Zielinski is available again as well. Zalewski, Zalewski. If we need a goal, definitely Zalewski will come on. He definitely won't be brought on if we're holding on or drawing or something. Probably 2-0. Again, predicting a clean sheet against this Barcelona. And some of you guys, some of you guys predicted a 0-0. There was a guy that predicted 0-0 in the first leg or a 1-1. Like, have you seen this Barcelona team? This Barcelona team, even if you hold them to one goal, it's a big result. Now, the possibility that I'm thinking, I'm with Valmo here. I think extra time and penalties is a real possibility, guys. I'm feeling something like the Atletico Madrid game, honestly. I think it's going to be like that. I don't think it will be as open as the first leg, like it was last week. But I think it will be. Thank you, Hashil. He predicts 2-1 Barca. Well, of course, that makes sense. And you are the favorite, so yeah, it makes sense. I'm leaning towards like a 2-2, a 1-1, or a 2-2. To be honest, it can't be anything less than 2 goals in this. We saw it. It's just impossible to hold this Barca team when they start creating opportunities. They pummel you when they start taking control. If we can score early again, I think we can control the game a little bit better at San Siro, especially with the crowd on our side. I think taking the learnings from the last game, I think we can do better. If we can get that early goal again, hold the lead a little bit longer, that would be great. But I can also see what I'm predicting is that Barca come out of the blocks faster this time. The last time it was us. This time it might be Barca that go up ahead, and we, Inter, have to come back, because essentially now no away goal, so it's basically 0-0. Barca have nothing to lose, so they can play their gung-ho kamikaze style from minute 1 and go for it like nothing ever happened in the first leg. And I can see that happening. But I can see Inter just having the hearts of lions tomorrow. These guys have shown me that in this competition this year, they're different. Their mentality is fully focused on this competition. They defend with their lives. We're much more clinical in this competition. Does Marcus Thuram score that backheel goal at 30 seconds in the Serie A? No. Marcus Thuram in Serie A will take 3 or 4 chances before he scores. Yeah, we're different beasts in the Champions League, and I see us being, that irresistible force versus the immovable object. It's going to be another fun game. It's going to be another epic game. Yeah, I'm going to go. I think it goes to extra time, but we take it on extra time. I think with penalties, we might be. I think we're in trouble is what Eduardo says. If it goes to penalties, because it's very unlikely that Hakan stays on the pitch until then. Zielinski will be on. Lautaro probably might be off. Yeah, it's hard to see that our best penalty takers will be on if we go to penalties at that stage. Yeah. But I think we might have that bit of bravery in extra time to just like sneak it. It might be just lucky, a deflected goal, or just a dirty goal, which will make it even more enjoyable. But I think we could have it. I think we could have it, to be honest. I'm going to go for a 2-2. And maybe we can sneak it 3-2 in extra time. Yeah, that's maybe what I'm going for. Yeah, no, that's what I'm saying. You know, OG DiMarco, he's never been that good defensively, but he wasn't giving us these nightmares defensively. But at the same time, we have to admit, it's also because the guy in front of him is like playing out of his mind last time round. So surely you can't have 2 back-to-back games like that, because that was just unreal. Because not even Messi was playing against Inter like that. So yeah, no, the ultras, the Curva Nord will be in full voice tomorrow. The stadium will be an amazing thing. It will be something to behold. It will be beautiful. It will be a great game. It will be a great game. Yeah, I'm gonna go for 2-2 extra time, and then Inter sneak it with a lucky ass goal, and the Barca fans probably crying. It might be controversial or something. Yeah, maybe it's a positive, optimistic prediction. It might be completely wrong. We might get pummeled by Barca, but I don't think we will. Whichever team wins it, I think it's going to be very, very fine margins, small margins. I think it's going to be a classic. I think it's going to be an epic game again. Yeah. I think DiMarco's going to bounce back. DiMarco's going to bounce back. That's my prediction. Leave a thumbs up, subscribe to the channel, guys. I will be here. We will be here tomorrow for post-match reaction. Whether we lose, whether we win, you guys will see me here to suffer or to celebrate. But as always, I hope those boys, I want to see 11, 13, 14, 15 Lions on the pitch, the starting 11 and the subs. I want to see that fire, that grit, that hunger. I want to see them try to get us to the final to land that 4th star. And I want to see us spitting blood out there. And wherever the result, I'll be proud of these guys if they do that. See you tomorrow, guys. Ciao ragazzi. Forza Inter. Let's get to the final. Per la finale. Ciao.